Okay, gentlemen, Baruch Hashem, another Alshich shir. And today's shir was sponsored by Gabe Gamel, our dear friend Gabe. And we thank him for that. So today the Alshich is going to discuss a very basic but very, very important question. Hashem had a tremendous, tremendous gift he wanted to give to the world. A very special and prized possession, his holy Torah. And the Alshich asks a basic question. If God wanted the Torah to be studied and to be followed in perfection, then he would have been better off giving it to the angels. After all, the angels don't make mistakes. The angels are relatively perfect compared to human beings. Why would he bother giving the Torah to human beings and the Jewish people? Pretty obvious question, if that was the purpose of giving the Torah. But the Alshich asks, what would be the reason for us to receive the Torah if we're not going to follow it in perfection? So he starts off with a very, very interesting parable, a mashal. And he says that a king has a massive kingdom, and he has many, many servants. And one group of servants, he says to one group of servants, I want you to stay here in the palace. You are going to serve me. You are going to be with me. You are going to be dedicated to making sure that the palace runs well and smoothly. And the reward for you will be that you are constantly here, enjoying the luxuries of the palace, enjoying being in the presence of the king, living a life of bliss, simplicity, no questions, no struggles. You have no reason to have any problems. You have no reason to run away. You're living a life of perfection. But for you, the first group of servants, the only reward you are going to get is that you get to live a life with me. Then he turns to a second group of servants, and he says, for you guys, we need people out in the big kingdom, running the kingdom, making sure it's ran smoothly, making sure that the desire and the values of the king is being upheld. So for you guys, I'm going to send you out to very, very far away places. And your job is to make sure that you are loyal and committed to the king's desires. But for you, it's going to be very challenging. Why? Because you're going to be far away from the king. You're going to have a lot of struggles, a lot of issues. You're not going to be living in, the perfection of the king's palace. But for you, in the end, when you finish your term of work, which your term of work is going to be limited, I am going to bring you back to the palace. And in that place, you're going to have tremendous reward. And what's the reward going to be? You're going to sit with me. I'm going to put upon you royal garbs. You're going to sit and eat with the king. You're going to become part of the royal establishment of the king in his palace. So your job is to go out for a bunch of years, make sure to uphold the kingdom, and your reward is going to be great. The first group, your job is to stay here, and there is no ultimate reward except the fact that you get to be here always. So with this parable, the Alshich explains the differences between the angels and man, obviously. Hashem created angels. For him, the angels should be with him in Shemayim. There are no questions. There are no struggles. They're constantly in the presence of God. They don't have any desire to run away. They don't have any desire to go anywhere else. They're living in bliss. But for them, there is no ultimate reward, more than the fact that they get to serve Hashem. The second group of servants, of course, are the Jewish people. And for them, Hashem says, I'm going to send you out to a dark world, to a confusing world, to a world full of struggles, to a world where you may even forget about me. You're far away from me. And you're going to have power out there in that world, representing me, and you may even forget about the real power. You may start thinking of yourself as a power because you're not in the presence of God. You're not in the presence of the king. And this is going to be your struggle. But for you guys, Hashem says, of course the Jewish people, that in the end of the day, you will come back, I will take you back, and you will have the zechus, the opportunity not just to be in heaven, but to sit with Hashem, to be one with Hashem, to enjoy together with Hashem. You're going to have the best retirement possible, where you're no longer going to have to work, and you're going to sit with the royal garbs at a table with Hashem and enjoy the fruits of your labor. So to explain this, the Alshich actually says we find the differences between what the Chazal say about the end of days for man and the end of days for, or not the end of days, but the ultimate idea of what an angel is. For man, the Gemara says, Olam haba, in the world to come, ein bo lo yachila, there is no food, lo shtiya, there's no drinking. There is just elat tzadikim, the righteous yoshvim sit, va'atereseim beresheim, and there are crowns upon their head. This is what Olam haba is, the world to come for man is. Contrasting that to angels, it says that malachi asharis, the angels that work for Hashem, ein lahen kefitzin. They don't have joints. Now, what does that mean? They don't have joints. So the Alshich explains that what is significant about the idea that angels do not have joints is that joints joints in man is what allows them to bend, is what allows them to sit, is what allows them to jump, is what allows them to run. You need joints. Angels don't have that. What does that represent? That represents that angels are just standing. As the verse says, Beina oim de me'ela. Angels just stand erect and they go. The idea is that they don't have any struggles to sit down, to relax, to run away, to jump up, to fall down. They just stand and serve. That is their purpose. That is what they are. Ein lahem kafitzin. They do not have the joints. They don't have the power to go up and down. But by man, what does it say? It says specifically, the righteous yoshvim, in the end of days, will finally have a chance to sit. And the Alshich asks, why is it so important for them? They're sitting. Who cares what they're sitting? They're standing, and the crowns are on their head. It just say that they are with God and with the crowns on their head. But the idea is specifically, because the man had a struggle in this world, he did have joints. He has an ability to go down. He has an ability to sit down. He has an ability to turn away. He has an ability to jump. And he used his time in this world properly, not getting lazy, not turning away from God, but keeping committed to his mission. And not only that, flourishing, running, jumping, pushing. Because of that, in the world to come, he's going to have the ultimate reward. In the end, he's finally going to get to specifically sit and relax in the ultimate place of relaxation. Lis'anig im Hashem, to have pleasure with Hashem. So whereas the angels live a committed experience of perfection, there is no ups and there is no downs. But because man has struggles, and he has ups and downs, according to the pressure he puts on himself and the effort he puts on himself in this world, to connect himself to Hashem and to be loyal servants, in the end of days, he will ultimately be able to sit and relax and appreciate that experience. And the Alshich makes another point on this saying. He says, their crown, their crown is on their head. What does it mean, their crown? What is it specifically about their crown? Crowns are on their head. What is significant about their crown on their head? And he says, obviously, that the crown that the man at the end of days is going to sit with Hashem is going to specifically be the deeds, the good things that he did in this world. Those are going to be the jewels of the crowns that he's going to enjoy the world to come with. So it's not just going to be any crown. The crown that you ultimately get in the world to come, the reward you get in the world to come, is going to specifically be the jewels of the good deeds and the struggles that you overcame in this world. And with that crown, you're going to come before God and enjoy your ultimate reward. So, in explaining the pasuk that we have in this week's parasha, "Atem tihuli mamleches kohanim," the Goy Kadosh, he says in this verse, we see exactly why Hashem chose the Jewish people over even the angels. Because he says, "Ba'atem tiyuli, you shall be for me a mamleches kohanim." What does it mean, a mamleches kohanim? A kingdom of ministers is how it translates. What does it mean, a kingdom of ministers? So what that means, according to the Alshich, is that you are going to be a kingdom outside of the palace. But you are going to represent what? My kingdom. You are going to be ministers for my kingdom. And in this way, you are going to have a lot of struggles. You're going to be outside of the direct influence of Hashem, the presence of Hashem. You're going to be in a world, and the world is going to be full of darkness, and full of struggle, and full of addictions, and full of problems, and full of plenty of lack of clarity. However, says the Alshich, you have one very special tool, and that is the neshama that I put inside of you. What is the power that the man has to overcome all the darkness? Says the Alshich. What is the power that the man has to overcome all the struggle that this world brings, all the confusion? It's that inside of you, you are a servant of Hashem. And inside of you is the neshama, the chelek elokayma, the portion of God within you that is going to give you the power to overcome all the darkness of this world. And if you tap into that, you're going to have tremendous clarity. So Hashem didn't just throw us down in this world with no weapons. He says, you have to understand that you are a mamleches kohanim, a kingdom of people that are here to minister, to be servants and agents for Hashem. And you have to represent that properly. So that is your first job in this world, to understand that you don't get to stay up in the higher heavens. You have to come down here to represent me. And that's very, very important. And I need that. More important than the angels up high. Because you guys are ultimately sanctifying God's name in the lower depths, as opposed to the angels who are only sanctifying God's name in the higher realms, where God is much more apparent. So I need you, Hashem says, the Jewish people, to represent me amidst the darkness, amidst the struggle, specifically. And I know it's hard. I know it's not easy. I know there's struggle, but that's specifically why I'm sending you. Because I gave you the tools to overcome, and your job is to do what you can to represent me. Mamleches kohanim. And the second thing he says, the second part of the verse, the goy kadosh. And the Alshich says something amazing. What does the goy mean? A goy means the nations. I understand that you are being born, and you are people, and you are a nation. You're human beings after all. And with living as a human being, you're going to have struggles, you're going to have restrictions. You're not going to be able to be 100% of the time. You're human beings after all. It's not going to be easy for you. You're a nation. But there's one difference. You're a goy kadosh. You have the capacity, even within your humanity, even within your needs, even within your lusts, even within your desires, to sanctify it and to overcome it. And to say that I am dedicating everything I possibly can to Hashem. And because of that, Hashem says specifically, I want to give you the Torah. Because I understand, of course, that the purpose of everything is to sanctify my name. And to live in this world with all the confusion and darkness and questions, and to still show yourself in the entire world and Hashem that we are committed to you. And the reward that you get for that is much greater than even the reward than the angels. And the job you're doing is much more important than even the job of the angels. And the joy that I have in you is much more than the joy I have in the angels. And it's for that reason that in the end, the reward you're going to get is atarasehem b'rashem, that you are going to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor and to sit, as it says, lehisanig im Hashem, to have pleasure with Hashem, something that even the angels are not going to have. And how are you going to do this? With the rules that I give you, the Torah, by understanding and tapping into your neshama, tapping into your portion of God from above, and doing your job loyally, and being committed. And even though I know it's not easy, and even though I know it's very, very hard, and believe me, Hashem understands that it's not easy. But he says it's specifically because it's not easy. And it's specifically because it is far away from my palace. And it's specifically because you are representing me in a place that I am not as clear. it's because of that that you are going to have the great reward in the end. So the basic takeaway is that people think of themselves, they think about how bad they must be. They have desires that are not good. They have struggles that are not good. They question Hashem. They doubt what they're doing in their commitment to Hashem. And the Alshich is saying, don't look at that as a negative. Look at that and understand that that is the greatest opportunity that you have. This is the merit that you have. The merit that you have is the fact that you could overcome your struggles and you could do good deeds. And that will buy you. You will be kind of through that. You will acquire through that the greatest reward possible. And even though you, of course, in this world have joints, you have a desire to just enjoy this world and to just sit and to relax and to enjoy the pleasures of this world, understand that in the right time, in the right place, the pleasures you will enjoy will be 1 billion times more. And not only that, it will be forever. Because this world, like in the parable, is only for a short while. The king only sends everyone out for a short while. But when he brings them back, it's forever. It's lenetzach. And the last thing a person should do is think of himself, what a shame that I have these issues, I have struggles, I have problems. Let me just give up and enjoy this world. No, it's because of the struggles and because of the issues and because of the darkness and the ability for you to use your joints to overcome it and push yourself up, that will give you the greatest reward in the world to come. So, as Hashem, everyone will have the ability to accept the Torah and understand that everything that we have and that we need is right here, and that our job is to utilize everything we have, our chelik alakam amal, and the Torah to be our pathway to ultimately have the zechus and the merit to sit in Olam Haba, where it will elat tzadikim yoshim b'teresehem b'reshehem.